Now we're going to be a little more serious because we're going to talk about subjects that are not that easy. Uh, they're part of this planetary situation we're all in, and I find when I put on my personal Slovakian Facebook things about America or alternative thinking about Ukraine or Putin, people get very angry, and there are no other subjects that right now it's Ukraine and Russia that are more polarized, right? So I just present sometimes some articles, but the reactions are like very, very charged up. So what do you think, Rob, about Ukraine, and can you offer us your opinion, your point of view here?
Well, the Ukraine, like Iran, like Iraq, like Nicaragua, like Vietnam, like Cambodia, like every other war, is a manufactured and manipulated war. People in general don't do this. There are big people with money who manipulate humans through media and a sense of nationalistic pride, and behind the scenes they make a deal to go to war. It really is like that. World War II will be found out to be like that, that there are many agendas and many financial benefits to many people while people die. And it is absolutely...
Little people die, right?
For little people die, the tip of the spear, unconscionable. Innocent, sincere people who want to serve their country in a patriotic way end up doing very bad things. And in this culture of the military, which is extremely rabid and extremely technologically advanced to exasperate and to bring out aggression and violence and to support a violation of human rights as a standard operating procedure, and to continue to create mayhem, death, and destruction, destroying and raping families and burning their bodies has been proven. These are American soldiers. This is a general situation, raping women in the same military service. This type of activity is very bad and very wrong. We can all agree. And this is actually, I believe, encouraged in a methodical, systematic way, because this method and system is controlled by aggressive forces that are controlling our world leaders into using people through misinformation. And once boots are on the ground and bullets are in the guns, things happen. There's a lot of fear on both sides, and they're very bad situations. Ukraine in particular, without getting into the details, there's a manipulation going on. It's very obvious they need to create World War III, and they've been denied by positive spiritual forces within the solar system and beyond, in conjunction with other elements within the Earth's military, and the spiritual nature of humanity itself is not allowing that to take place. They couldn't get a war in Iran, so they tried to go to Syria, then they went back to Iraq, then they got ISIS in Syria. What does ISIS stand for? Israeli Secret Intelligence Service, maybe? That's where they're at. There's some very strong evidence recently. They just bought a Black Hawk down, I heard yesterday, I believe, and that was because they had found previously some dead Marines washing up on the shores of America. Those Marines were actually in Ukraine as part of the hostile, aggressive forces, and they were given back to the Americans, and they obviously dumped them. They may even killed an innocent Black Hawk, what they call a Black Hawk helicopter crew may have been killed in the process as well. But they found those soldiers' bodies on the shore. That's one explanation. So there is a complete level of deception and manipulation of the world's media. The people are fleeing Ukraine. The men are getting on buses to get out of it. No one wants to go to war for these people anymore. And I believe Mr. Putin, although he's no choir boy, is fiercely nationalistic, as Cobra says, and he is taking the advice of forces that are trying to enforce peace. With his weight and power and the size of the Russian Federation and the BRICS alliance, there is movements which are very threatening to the powers that be. Do not listen to the media. It's all lies and misinformation. This information on my website will be coming up very soon. For those of you, I'm going to have a page called Mr. Truth Seeker. And a very good friend of mine, whose name is Bill, is going to be sharing with us. He does 5 posts a day covered on health, politics, finance, and light worker information, some channeling. I may not agree with everything that will be posted there, but you're going to find a tremendous amount of information on everything we've been talking here. Cures for cancer, alternative healing and situations, the truth behind the world's political scenes gathered from the world's intelligentsia and academia.
So, it's amazing that what power the media have, like almost everyone, even people from my spiritual surroundings, they do think that Putin is a bad guy, so in other words, you're saying that he's in communication with the light forces, and you have that information.
There are indications, according to Cobra, that he is taking some directions from the benevolent forces that have always been here and interjecting themselves into situations. Valiant Thor was kept in the Pentagon after he appeared to Eisenhower.
The Venus guy who we spoke about in the previous video.
The previous video, yeah. And he basically dematerialized and appeared wherever he wants to go. There's certain levels of beings that no one on earth is going to touch him or have any ability. Although the movie, which won the Burbank Film Festival, did have a bit of a artistic license, and they put him under, like they were attacking him. And he was attacked, but when they put needles in his arm, they broke. When they tried to, pour acid on him, it just ran off his skin. But they definitely have very advanced technologies that cannot be surmounted, and when one understands that, you understand the patience that they have in trying to do this in a very nonviolent way.
And Putin is in some kind of communication with them, according to Cobra, right?
According to Cobra, I mean, we'll have to see. I'm not the final judge. I don't know everything. A lot of this information is compartmentalized, even from the benevolent forces. There are certain extraterrestrial forces that give certain contactees certain information, and other ones, they don't give everyone all the information, because if you gave everyone all the information, it's like D-Day. Who knows when you're going to land in Normandy? They don't want that out, and it's not necessary. And to be honest, the mechanizations of this step and the takedown is something that will be unfolding. And I would encourage people to think about it. Cobra has a meditation to hold the space for it, but not to obsess on it. To actually get into nature, experience joy in your life, find meditation, find joy, make love, play, sing, dance, raise your vibration, and listen to your inner self, and move into a powerful, positive, new type of lifestyle. And this information is interesting. It can be sensationalist with a gawking, but it's not. It's the revelation of the liberation of the planet and the truth of what's been going on. So I think there's a lot of perspective that needs to go on here. But the general information I'll tell you about Ukraine and ISIS and all that stuff is it's all manipulation, with heavy-duty finances and players struggling behind the scenes with lots of people's lives and lots of economic infrastructure at stake. And it is a rape, pillage, and plunder contest. And the heinous nature and the lack of moral character amongst the leadership of the world will be exposed, and people will be so shocked at what's been taking place, that hopefully they'll be inspired to step up into positions of responsibility in a positive way.
I mean, it's amazing how so many people, even spiritual people, my friends, watch TV, and they actually have a tendency to believe what the TV says. And I remember this was maybe a couple days ago when there was an article. I think it was a woman from CNN in England was speaking about how they edit their reports and she cannot do anything, and this has been going on for a very long time. We're just trying to figure out something here. I'm going to focus.
So yeah, there's lots of very definite manipulation, and the some of the news people, they're absolutely edited. They actually read cue cards. They set up people with guns to pretend there's fighting, and it's all manufactured. The false flags of the Boston bombing is a lie. They're putting some guy on trial. He was part of a mind control program. But they did have a small bomb. There may have been one girl who had her legs blown off, but a lot of crisis actors in the area, a lot of fake smoke. They had these cushions they swung together, and the same guys that are running around and all these other false flag operations are seen running, and it's all so much drama and fodder for sensationalism, and people don't know what's going on, so they actually believe it. I think if people look behind the lines a little bit, and they're going to have to choose for themselves to research this and know the truth on themselves.
That's what I found for myself and through my own spiritual work, that it's actually the truth is pretty obvious. You just have to look a little bit deeper. You know, you're just gonna maybe you just need to close your eyes, and every information that is given to you, just go within and try to see for yourself. Does it feel like it's true, or because I think the truth has a specific vibration, and you can pretty much tune into it and know with your heart or belly, right? It's the truth.
I think, yeah. Well, people say gut feeling. What people don't realize is that you have gray matter on two areas of your body. One is on your brain, and the other is your diaphragm. And in the shaman tradition, this is the center of feeling. So the diaphragm, right there, she's very slim. She's been on a diet, folks. I won't stand up and scare you. But,
I was not.
But the diaphragm is where the feelings come from. So usually women are more in tune with their feelings. Not that they don't have just as great intellects as men, if not greater. But our feelings are from here, from the diaphragm. So that's another mind that we can tune into. And there's actually different technologies and techniques, and of course meditation and these things. And there are going to be more open teachings at some point in the near future. There will be available on the planet what are called external retreats, which are going to be places where people will be able to go to work with spiritual beings who have transcended time and space, and who have complete control over all matter, and they're living in harmony. They're called ascended masters from the earth, as well as other beings from other worlds, and some from inside the crust, who will be sharing with us advanced spiritual information, which we will have a right to accept or reject, but to develop ourselves along the lines of truth. This is coming eventually, at some point when it's safe to do so. So people don't have to worry about seeking this experience out. It'll be available to everyone at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future.
Once we are ready and open to receive the real help, right?
Yeah, and the help is from within. I mean, we will have some acknowledgement, and we need to come to reality of what's been going on. They will be sharing with us the details of all the world situation. It'll be like a long process of truth disclosure that will allow us to have a cathartic healing from all of the negativity that we've experienced, and we'll realize that this isn't the way it's supposed to be, that we can choose a better way, and that we're responsible, and that by our good thoughts, deeds, and actions, we can move forward.
Beautiful. And I just want to, on that note, you know, when you said about the gut feeling, I just like to call it our like pyramid, like our inner triangle, and it goes from here, like this, you know.
Okay.
And that's where our lower 3 chakras are, and that's where I usually tune into when I want to see how something feels to me, and I want to find my own truth and alignment with it, or disalignment, and then take action. You know, I react outwardly less and less. I first, if I feel some discomfort, try to go within, you know, and search there.
Yeah, I think everyone's got to, some things are going to resonate, and sometimes our minds are going to come in there. We can think we know something, and we can know something's up, and exactly what the truth is, I mean, that can be skewed. There's a lot of intentional truth put out with 20% disinformation that just ruins everything. The Bible's a great example of that has this beautiful, loving thing, and then talks about a jealous God that's going to smite the heathen. I mean, it's just so, difficult. Speaking of God as a person with a personal agenda is different than understanding what's really going on. And all of this will be revealed in the future, and I'm not the end-all, be-all of that, but you're very right. I think that people need to follow their intuition and feelings and do the best they can. And most people are good people. Most people don't want to hurt people. When you tell them these stories, they cannot believe that people are doing this, and normal people wouldn't. But these aren't normal people. These are people that are mind control and under very advanced technology, and that will be revealed, especially at the highest levels.
Yes, so I suggest we close for now, and we do one more video, last part, before we go out to eat.
Yay!
And we could offer some positive information. We could do a little meditation. You could tell us a few tips about how to protect ourselves with the light.
Okay. And
we'll see how that goes.
We'll do that. I think we might get visited by some pink angels soon.